This is the Real Mom Hub. Keep listening for relatable content.
Today, we're talking about the upcoming holidays.
Thanksgiving and Christmas for us.
Yes, and all of the different family gatherings that accompany those holidays, all the joys, but also the challenges. So today we're talking about a book and a concept that is going to help us make the most out of these relationships with our families.
And leave those interactions just feeling more love, more joy. That's the goal.
Yeah, hope you enjoy.
Hello.
Hi.
How's your breakfast?
Breakfast is so good. Really loving it. Really here for it.
Can we show up our mugs again?
Oh, yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.
So cute.
Our sisters, Sadie and Naomi, got us these little mugs.
With their logo on it.
So cute.
They're so cute. We love them. Also, we love the mugs.
Yes. So how are you on this Wednesday in November?
So good. I'm so good. I'm so excited to talk about our topic today because I think I need to come clean to everyone about something. I love the holiday season. I love it.
Oh, you don't really need to come clean about anything. Okay.
No, a lot of people hate it. A lot of people low-key, like, they don't want to talk about it. They're like, the holidays are really hard for me for a variety of reasons that make a ton of sense to me.
So we're being really annoying again and saying we are so blessed.
I love the holidays. I love
Here's
them.
the question. When are you going to get your tree?
Oh, I don't know. The past several years, we would always like take a drive with our friend Anderson and like go pick it out on the mountain. And they'd always be really sad and sparse.
They were the worst trees, but the best trees.
Like, they were like little Charlie Brown
Yeah,
Christmas.
you should post a pic. I mean, they were bad.
I loved their little mountain trees.
Oh, I love the idea. They were ridiculous.
And then last year we just went to like a parking lot. Or no, wait, I can't even remember what we did last year.
Well, that's sad. I'm pretty sure you were like considering not even getting one or something. I think there was some Scrooge. There was some Scrooge energy last year.
I would never.
I think it was your first Christmas back in Wisconsin, and there was some Scrooge energy.
Really sorry you had experienced that.
So I'm really happy to hear that you're like ready to go now.
I'm always ready to. Okay, really sorry you had Scrooge energy from me last year because
maybe I'm making it up, but because I was thinking about the tree today, and Kevin's like, "Let's get a tree right away." And I used to want to wait because we do a real tree so that we can have the tree and make it green and fresh for longer.
Totally.
Yeah, but then we got the tree right after Thanksgiving. Good job with the mute. We're getting better, people. Emily just coughed and muted herself before she coughed.
So you didn't have to edit, and now you have to edit that out.
Or I don't, because I'm proud of you, and I just want the world to know.
Thank you.
So Kevin was like, let's get the tree right after Thanksgiving. And we did. And then you know what? We just had joy for longer. And our house did not burn down. And we still had that tree up until Epiphany. So I'm on board now. I'm a tree right away kind of girl now.
I usually let Kyle's so good at childlike whimsy and joy, my husband. He's also really good at adult things too. But those are some of my favorite things about him in my day-to-day is he'll just get so jacked about something. So I kind of usually let him
lead the charge.
We gotta get a tree this weekend. Yeah.
Oh, that's so fun. Wow. Okay, I'm feeling festive.
Me too. And also, Christmas music.
Oh.
He tries to play that shit in October, like before Halloween happens.
Yeah, and that's a no-go.
No, you gotta keep it special. You gotta save something.
Yes.
For so the rule is November 1st. He cannot turn on the Christmas station till November 1st. I just got so excited about the holidays. I didn't even start this off right. In this week, tell me about one thing you're loving about mothering, and tell me about something that's hard.
Okay, loving. So I have a very, very busy week. It's one of those weeks where I'm having a flashback to when I was a full-time teacher because I'm helping direct a musical and it's tech week. I've just had my kids at rehearsal, which back in the day, I felt kind of good about because I think it's a cool thing for them to see, like, A, their mom working, B, a lot of high schoolers doing really cool things together, C, just like the arts. Like, that's a cool thing for them to be around, but it's late nights, it's germy high schools, it's high schoolers up in their face wanting to play with them. Like, they don't know boundaries. Like, it's a lot for my kids. But I'm loving it this week because it's a snapshot of their life. It's not like their whole life anymore.
Mm.
And so I've just had them there a couple times. And, Charlie even got to watch some Bluey because he was over it and tired on Monday. And he sat in the auditorium and watched a little Bluey. And I was fine with it. And that felt so good because I would have had a lot of guilt about that before. But I was like, you know what? He can snuggle up in this cushy seat, maybe take in some musical theater while he watches a show that I actually like. And Nora just wanted to be on stage. I mean, she
Shut the front
loves
door.
this shit, which Charlie did too at that age, but he was so tired.
Like, how is she? So she's 1. She's like 1.5.
Oh, she will be.
How is she like asking to get on the stage?
Oh, she was just taking herself.
Oh.
So, like, on the stage, dancing with the kids. And we're talking about like 20 high schoolers. Oh. And Nora is right up there, just like jamming out. I mean, it's so funny. So I just loved actually being able to have them there and just also having those kids see me as their former teacher, like making a choice that was for my children.
Yeah.
And them seeing me be happy, but also like want to be there with these, I just say my kids for everybody, with my former students and want to see them succeed. It was just like a really great full circle moment that I felt really good about.
Yeah, that just sounds like a village moment. Like, that is your life.
It's funny,
You're bringing the pieces of your life together, which how great for everyone.
And it's also funny that my village included, 20 plus high schoolers this week. That's kind of funny. But it did,
great.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so good.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah, so nice.
Okay, what's hard for me this week? Charlie's just whiny this week, which I guess we could connect the dots and say he's not had a normal week. But it's just been difficult to be patient because, like, we can't cut his pancake the right way, and he wanted to stir the boiling water, and I didn't let him. Like, it just whining, just a lot of whining, not having a lot of, like, good one-on-one with him this week. So there's trade-off, and that's been hard.
Yeah. I'm going to connect that to mine. So driving home from Wausau, because we saw you guys this weekend, which was so fun. It
was amazing.
Loved it. It was so good. We were driving home and I was just unpacking with Kyle. I was just like, yeah, Charlie doesn't get what he wants, or he's like in a place of not getting the thing he desires, and he gets sad consistently. And I was just watching it happen all weekend, and it was the most confusing thing for me to watch. I'm like, why are you getting sad about this, kid? Like, what's your problem?
Like actually
why is sad the emotion that you go to? Like I was
not anger.
It was blowing my mind. Actually,
I never thought about it till you said that.
About it. I just
like
kept
tears.
Watching it. Yeah, I just kept watching it happen. And you and Kevin were so sweet and kind and graceful about it. I think I would have been like, "Don't be a baby," And I'm hoping to get over that toxic trait of myself before my kids reach that stage. So it's really good for me to see you and Kevin handling that beautifully. I still don't understand it, this tiny person emotion. So anyways, I was talking about that with Kyle, and he was just quiet for a minute. He goes, yeah, well, I mean, I definitely would choose sadness over just extreme rage for my child when he doesn't get what he wants. So that brings me to my thing that's hard this week.
Which is, lay it out for us.
Kieran is a little over a year. He's 15 months. This kid, he's very loud.
So loud. Loudest baby I've ever met.
Oh my God. Which is, honestly, I kind of love it. It's really funny.
It's really funny.
He's got a big mouth. It's hilarious. He has been using this tone of voice that makes my blood boil. Like, he screams at me and I lose it. I mean, I don't usually lose it around him, but I'm like, I feel like he's too young to parent. I don't know how to teach him. I'm trying to teach him words. How do I teach him about a tone of voice when he's this young? But this sound that he makes for the most minor thing that's not going his way is just, I'm just getting mad thinking about it.
And you know what? This is telling for both of us because Kevin and I are both, I would say, way more sensitive than you and Kyle. So, we're seeing that trait in our child, and it's really bothersome to us. And you're seeing the rage come out.
Oh, yeah.
You may be a little rageful.
Totally. And it's the thing where, you hear about parents saying it's most difficult for me when my child is embodying personal failings of my own.
that you see as a personal feeling,
I
which,
see
like,
as a
frankly, other
yes.
people might not see as a personal feeling.
Absolutely. Things
Yeah,
about yourself that you're not
that you hate.
happy about.
Yeah.
Never did I ever think that it would start at 1 year of age. So, here we are. Like, the stuff you heard this weekend, he was on company behavior.
Ooh.
Like, you have not I don't think anyone in our family he saves it for home. Somehow, as a 1-year-old, he already saves the worst for home. So, knowing that you haven't heard it and you thought you'd heard it,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I wanna hear what you're loving, but I just need to say that Kieran is now sucking his thumb after being with Nora, and Kieran was never a thumb
Well,
sucker.
and he's not sucking his thumb. He's like,
What do I do with this? Why is this
yeah,
in
he's
my
like
mouth?
sticking in it. Yeah, in his mouth
And
as an experiment,
Nora is going, "Huh? Huh?"
which is the
Just
sound Kieran makes about everything right now. He sounds like Scooby Doo.
so funny. Okay, what are you loving about mothering?
He is snuggling more,
Oh, cute.
not just around nap time. Like sometimes he'll just like run into my arms and melt into me in the middle of play.
Yeah.
And that's new. And it is just the best thing ever.
So cute.
Well, yeah, it's amazing.
Okay, so this topic that we're going to talk about, navigating the holidays with grace and poise and joy.
With our families.
Yep.
Nuclear, extended.
This came up while you were at our house as well. Because
Oh,
we
yeah.
started talking about it over dinner, the four of us.
Yeah.
It was just funny because we're all just sort of sharing like the struggles and like what we want, and also ways in which we maybe bulldoze to try to like make our in-laws the way that our family is, just trying to make what's familiar, even if that's not, what's unique to that family. And so I just think it's funny that we ended up trying to role play this. Like we're sitting around the dinner table, like trying to role play what our unique holiday family experiences were. And I would say we failed on an epic level.
Totally.
But it was funny.
Well, and it was a joke. It was never like, let's get deep into how we get. No, we were like,
no.
we had just been talking about it and it was funny. We're like, let's try it. And we couldn't do it.
No, it was a disaster, but
it was hilarious.
It did make us think, because we are about to embark on a big family gathering that's actually unique for this holiday for us, even because our grandma, mom's mom, is turning 90 this year and she loves Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
So she wanted all of her family in one place for Thanksgiving. So we're all driving to Ohio. There will be how many of us?
I don't even know. I mean,
a lot.
Yeah, a ton of people.
And a lot of people we haven't seen in years.
Yep.
We don't see often.
Yep. Cousins, cousins' kids,
new babies,
aunts, uncles, great grandkids for grandma, our kids, cousins' kids. Yep. I mean, everyone's going to be parenting a little differently. Everyone is going to be having different needs for their babies. We just had an election. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Great. Love that for
good
family.
Fodder.
Yeah, and I know strong opinions on opposite ends of the spectrum for different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Politically. Also, okay, when we have people flying in from Texas, we're coming in from Wisconsin.
Multiple parts of Texas.
We have people
Texas
coming
is like
in.
country-sized, yep.
Oh, yeah, like city and then very rural. And we have East Coast and everyone's gathering in Ohio. I mean, it's just a whole kaleidoscope.
Yeah. And then we're going to be able to see Dad's family.
Yep.
A portion of them right afterwards. So I'm just thinking about our husbands. Like that's going to be a whole lot because not only do they have to navigate one family dynamic full of people that they've honestly only met like at weddings.
Yeah.
Then we're also going to do round 2 with the other side of the family, which is a whole different dynamic that we've grown up navigating.
Yeah. Yep. It was really kind of you to think of our husbands. I hadn't even gotten there.
I just did right in this moment. So thank you. Thank you.
And then Christmas, it's an off year for the O clan. So it's with our husbands. It's with our in-laws.
Yeah.
This year. So.
Yep. Lots to think about. Lots to talk about.
Lots to talk about. So I'm excited to hear about what you are hoping for, how you're going to approach all these different things. And I'm going to outline a toxic trait of myself really quickly before we dive into the framework.
Let's go.
This toxic trait is I will hear interviews that I'm really stoked on for like different authors, or I will hear about a book that I'm like, this is going to change my life. I got to get this book. And I will buy the book and I will read part of it, or I will like skim it. And then my sweet husband will actually read the book and then, try and have a thought-provoking conversation with me about it. So we are going to be talking about a book that we both own, that Callie, you have read.
Okay.
I have skimmed.
Wait, I thought I had read it. It's really funny that you just said that. I was sure I'd read the whole thing. I just pulled it off the bookshelf. Can you see my bookmark?
Okay, so we're a disaster.
But
we're
you know what I
talking
did?
about a
I did
book.
my homework. I listened to a little podcast summary of it this morning.
Well, you can tell everyone about it then.
Oh.
Cheers.
Cheers. Okay, the book is The Four Agreements by Miguel Ruiz. It's based on Toltec spirituality. I don't think it's a religion. I don't know anything more than that. But it's basically these agreements that are supposed to help you live a peaceful, like heaven on earth sort of life. So he has these four agreements that if you can, take out the bad and sort of immerse yourself and really like make these agreements part of your personality, it can be life-changing. So we're not there yet because we haven't read the whole book. But
okay, but this came to mind. Kyle brought these agreements up a few days ago, actually. He's like, do you remember the four agreements we were just talking about?
I was wondering why you were like, the four agreements. And then you were like, I've never read it.
Well, we're talking about navigating family dynamics as well as the friendships in our community. And even if you haven't read the book, these are just...
It's pretty straightforward.
They're very heavy-hitting, concise. I think they cover a lot of ground. So the four agreements: be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. Don't make assumptions. Always do your best. Those are the four.
Okay, so be impeccable with your word. Speak with integrity. Say only what you mean. Avoid using the word to speak against yourself or to gossip about others. Use the power of your word in the direction of truth and love.
I mean, that's a heavy hitter. What if we just stuck with be impeccable with your word? I mean...
Honestly. Well, I was thinking about this podcast and I was like, if I'm impeccable with my word, the amount of dead space that I'm going to have to edit out will be more than the words coming out of my mouth. So.
And we don't get to go back and edit out conversations. So it's really, right, I think, useful to just think about the intention to be impeccable with your word. So
what does grandma always say? Doesn't she always in the morning pray that her words are healing, not hurting?
Yes.
So in true grandma form. Gosh, I mean, I even think about that with parenting. Like we were talking about the Montessori toddler book, and she has a whole section on not to say good job, because that's just really creating external validation, So like if Charlie colors a picture, he still does this. And I've tried to be really careful, but he'll say like, do you like it, Mom? And it's hard to not say yes, and I don't know how to handle that. I guess my point is it's really hard to be impeccable with your words.
Yeah. Well, and I think also he's going to get external feedback from the world anyways. So
yeah.
Is it so terrible that he would receive positive external validation from you? Like, why would it be so bad for you to say, gosh, you know what? I really do like that thing that you just did.
So when it's actions, I don't feel bad about it. Like, if he's just been really good company, or like Tuesday, he just was so helpful and just like got his shoes on and was like directing Nora. He was just like a really upstanding 3-year-old on Tuesday. And I don't at all feel bad like praising him for those things. I think it's more like artwork or dance or things that are, I guess, more art related things that are more of a personal expression that I want him to decide whether he likes that.
Yeah.
I guess that doesn't at all tie into holidays, but that's where I went to right away with just parenting a 3-year-old.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm thinking
they just absorb everything.
And therefore, they're going to be absorbing family dynamics, of course, during the holidays.
Yeah.
I immediately went to be impeccable with your word. When you're around a bunch of people that you really don't know, we just don't see them often.
Mm-hmm.
And you're reaching for small talk and you're reaching for any kind of common ground. It can be tricky politics. I actually immediately went to politics. These topics that people have some sort of emotional grounding in and want to use as a connection point. Yeah. How can you make sure that the conversation is productive and good and the other person feels heard, but also you're only adding goodness to that conversation when these topics are so tricky right now?
Yeah, is there a graceful way? Like, I'm looking for a phrase just to, like, have in my back pocket if politics do come up, just because I think there's a time and place to discuss that. And I really I'm pretty positive this Thanksgiving celebration for grandma, when we never see these people, is not the time or the place to discuss those things. I'm just pretty confident in that for myself. So, like, what do I say? Like, I'm so happy to see you. Don't want to talk about politics. That's condescending and dumb. Like,
Why
how
can't
can
you
I say
just
it?
I think you could just say, "Yeah, I actually don't care to talk about this."
Okay,
Is
move
that
on.
does that not feel I mean, you can say, "You know what? I've spent so much energy on this already.
Yeah.
I'd really just like to talk about pumpkin pie right now."
Yeah. Pumpkin pie. All right.
I mean,
Pumpkin pie.
such a lie. No, oh, see, and then I'm not being impeccable with my word. I'm being sassy. So, failed
I'll
that
work on
already.
that. I have like 10 hours in the car to come up with my pivot.
Your graceful pivot. Maybe this is a homework assignment for us. Maybe we get to come up with several graceful pivots that we can then share with our listeners.
Honestly, a great idea.
We'll see. We'll keep you posted. Stay
Mhm.
posted for graceful pivots from yours truly, Queen of Grace. Yeah, Callie, this is on you.
Grace.
This is all you, Cal.
Anything more to say on impeccable words?
Yeah, I think coming from a place of appreciation and love is
Hmm.
where I'm going to really try and be in these
Yeah, you
conversations.
use the power of your word in the direction of truth and love.
And you know what? For Thanksgiving, maybe we cancel the truth. If we're all
Honestly,
holding different
yeah.
truths, like it's not our job to put our truth on somebody else.
No, especially when we just really don't see these people enough to make anything else worth. Yeah. Yeah, we can be authentic, but focus on the love. Love it.
Don't take anything personally.
Yeah, this is a hard one. For me, that's way harder than being impeccable with word, I think, actually.
Oh, I think it's the opposite for me.
I could see that.
I got a big mouth.
Okay, so don't take anything personally. Nothing others do is because of you. What others say and do is a projection of their own reality, their own dream. When you are immune to the opinions and actions of others, you won't be the victim of needless suffering.
I love that. Needless suffering. How much suffering do we all endure? I want to know what percentage of it is needless that we self
I
inflict.
want to know.
I want to know. Quantify, like things we will never quantify, things I will never know. I think that's huge.
Yeah. Oh, it definitely is for me. And even just like assuming that people meant something. Like, like even, if somebody makes a different choice, I can take that personally. Like even if someone's making a different parenting choice, I can take that personally, which is so unproductive and needless. Yeah, needless
So,
suffering.
what do you mean? If someone's making a different choice that you observe, or if they come to you and challenge your choice?
Honestly, like even if we're in a group and somebody's making a different choice, in close proximity, like if it's something that I've just handled very differently, I can feel like they're doing it to illustrate the other way of doing it. Like I can take that personally.
What?
I know. That's what
No
I'm
way.
saying. Yeah.
You
I have
think that they're
problems,
like,
man.
you think that they're like,
See,
hey,
this is the way to
Callie,
do
this
it.
is the way to handle conflict with your 2-year-old at the playground?
I could, yeah. If it was someone I knew. Not if it was a stranger,
Oh.
but if it was like a person that I respected.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I'm
Either that or I could just be like, "Oh shit, that was the way to do it." Which actually I prefer that. Like that's fine.
Well, that's a learning moment for
Yeah.
yourself, and then take it, hopefully absorb it, move on.
So actually I guess if it's someone that I really respect and like it's a better way of doing it, then I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's better."
When I'm thinking about don't take anything personally, I think it's all about perspective for where the other person is at and how most of the time it's really not about you.
Oh, yeah.
It just is almost
I mean
never
all the
about
time.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. So I
Because if
think
someone really wants to say something to you and like tries to correct you, which I do to other people, it's coming from a place of like we want to be right,
yes.
which is ridiculous.
So, an example for me, something I'm going to just try and think about is the sometimes competing or other times just very different realities of all of our family members' lives, different religions, different political beliefs, different financial needs. Their family life looks different from each other's and ours. How does that paint where they're coming from? Why do those realities, how are they influencing where they're at in that moment?
Yeah.
And why they're saying this, why they're doing this. I believe we call that contextualizing.
Good
So
job.
contextualizing the person when something rubs you
Mhm.
the wrong way, painting a picture of their context for yourself.
This is where I've really had a lot of value from always using the most generous interpretation.
Yeah.
That's been so helpful for me. in any interaction with any age level, like my students, my in-laws, my boss, my husband, my children, my sisters. I don't know. I feel like
We
sisters are
don't
sort of a different,
we
yeah.
don't receive your generosity. I knew I'd been feeling gypped.
Wait, you can't say that anymore?
Gypped?
Yeah.
Why?
I've
Tell
gotten
me.
reamed multiple
Wait,
times because
why?
it's gypsies.
No, it goes back to that?
Yeah,
Oh.
I know. I'll cut it out.
No, leave it in, man. I had
Oh,
no idea.
yeah, I guess I didn't either, and I've had multiple people be like, "What? That's so
Interesting.
funny." Huh. How did we both miss that memo?
I don't know. Anyways,
Hmm.
thanks for
Anyways,
mhm.
yep. Yeah, so, like, just always assuming this really goes to the next point. I feel like we skipped over
No,
the
I
don't
think we
take
did
anything
it.
personally. Okay,
Do
great. We
we
did
need
it.
to wax poetic any longer? I'm tired of my own voice. We still have 2 more points to go through.
Okay, great. So the
2 more
next point
agreements.
is don't assume something, right? Yeah, don't make assumptions.
Okay, let's hear
So
it.
find the courage to ask questions and to express what you really want. Ooh, I need to work on that.
Whoa.
Communicate with others as clearly as you can to avoid misunderstandings, sadness, and drama. With just this one agreement, you can completely transform your life.
So, what's interesting about that, if I just read the bullet point, don't make assumptions, I'm like, cool, great. What a good reminder. We can all
Hmm.
do that. Well, it's
Hmm.
hard, but we can all attempt to do that.
Yeah.
But then when you go in to bring courage into it, don't make assumptions and use courage to challenge them.
Wait.
Am I misreading that? It involves some
Oh, yeah.
curiosity and
Yeah.
courage into challenging your own assumption about the person, therefore like giving yourself more information on why you assumed that and why you might be wrong.
Yeah.
Curiosity and courage is what I'm hearing.
Okay, so you're really good at this in conversation. When you're having some conflict in a conversation, which is just bound to happen, you're really good at saying, like, tell me more or explain what you mean. And I just want to get better at that because that right away helps that other person feel more comfortable. Although I've had some people that say that, and I know that they just like know it's the right thing to say. You have to
Hmm.
actually say it with curiosity, otherwise, it's just bullshit.
Hmm.
Oh, tell me more. Can you explain that? It can be like really annoying. But if you're actually saying that from a point of curiosity, I just need to get better at that because it really does help clear up misunderstandings or even just prevent them.
Something I've worked really hard at. I used to go into arguments, and I think that this is the difference between the two, like what you're talking about right now. I used to go into arguments and I would just make a list. Like I would
Like
just
you have
absorb
your
all
side,
of the things that somebody else was saying and I would receive it and categorize it and put them in different columns in my brain
put your
and
lawyer
say,
pants on.
I'm going to circle back to this point. I'm going to connect this
Hmm.
to this and this is wrong and let me tell you why. And so tell me more can be part of somebody's arsenal to build a case against you.
Or it can leave room for you to actually like take a deep breath and receive the information.
Sure, I'm just saying are you asking that from a place of generosity of spirit where you're using that information to contextualize that person and why they're saying that? Or are you using that to push your assumption on that
Mhm.
person? Are you
Mhm.
using that to compile a list of points for you to win with? I think
Yeah.
you're right that we can absolutely sense the difference in
Yeah.
conversation, tone of voice,
Mhm.
body language.
Yeah, so
Those two are
most
so linked.
they're so linked. Yeah, I really think it's almost like taking things personally just falls under making assumptions for me most of the time. I also think, yeah, back to that most generous interpretation, especially with people you don't see very often, that's just always the better way to go. Even
It
it because
is.
you might not have time to get into it. Or you might not want to spend that energy, that time together getting into it.
Right. Like Thanksgiving will not be the place to
No.
ask those questions, those deeper questions, to give yourself context for the why the
Yeah.
person is saying what they're saying.
So you could just hold your tongue and be mad about it. Like that's an option. That's better than saying something you shouldn't say. But if you can transform that into most generous interpretation, not making assumptions, like you're going to be more at peace. Like I will feel more relaxed. I will have happy feels leaving that interaction. That's just better for literally everybody
Mhm.
and for our kids to see us interacting with other people.
Oh, yeah. I mean, assuming the best, approaching things with the generosity of spirit, we are not doing that as a nation right now.
Yeah.
We're not seeing that on TV. We're not seeing that in these tiny social media clips, in these irresponsible clickbait titles from newsrooms. I mean, I think one of our bigger failings right now as a nation. So, in order to all understand each other better, why not start at Thanksgiving? Can be everyone's little, I don't know, experiment, little
So
some
funny.
practice for our life at
For
large.
life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Because I think we are going to have to unlearn some habits to make this world a better place.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to me saying a phrase that I didn't realize had origins that were harmful. Like when I was saying, "Oh, yeah, I feel gypped," and I was just joking, and I had no idea, I'd never thought about it, and you brought it up, and you're immediately like, "Well, let's take it out," because that's what we do in 2024.
Hmm.
I feel pretty strongly about asking our listeners to give me the benefit of the doubt and asking
Hmm.
them to say, "Well, I didn't know." There are plenty of people who don't know. We're not
Mhm.
having conversations right now when topics come up that are upsetting to other people. We will cancel someone before we are
Mhm.
generous towards the ignorance that they held.
And literally everybody says things they are not supposed to say or that they shouldn't
Mhm.
say or that they just don't understand the mean. Everybody does it. Good job, big sis. Wow. That was big.
Starting small, people. Oh, well, okay. So maybe this last one, I'm curious to see. I feel like these are such simple agreements, and then you read his little paragraph, and I'm like, oh, wow, yeah, I could spend 5 lifetimes trying that one. So
Yeah.
the simplest way to phrase this agreement: always do your best. Okay, now come in and wreck what I just said by
Okay.
the
I'm ready.
subtext.
Your best is going to change from moment to moment. It will be different when you are healthy as opposed to sick. Under any circumstance, simply do your best and you will avoid self judgment, self abuse, and regret.
Wow.
I think this one's really nice for moms going into the holidays. And I actually don't think that paragraph like wrecked what
No.
thought. It was more of like affirming it's
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
Yeah, because we're gonna be sleep deprived. Like, that's just something I'm telling myself going into it. Like, I want to be joyful about this. And so I need to know ahead of time I will be sleep deprived. My kids won't be their best. We'll have to show up more gracefully to account for that. So there's so many variables that I just can't control. And I can either worry about them or I can just do my best and say, I'm really tired. I need to go lay down for a little bit. Or I need another glass of champagne right now. Or I need to take
Yeah.
a walk and that's okay too. And just
Yeah.
showing up is our best. Like, that's all grandma really wants. She wants us there. Like,
Yeah.
she won't care if our kids are melting down the entire time.
No. Well, and something else you touched upon, like you just mentioned a lot of self care. Like, here are the things I know I might need in these moments to help me show up better. And I just want to bring that back to him outlining it will be different when you're healthy versus when you're sick.
Yeah.
So different when you're in a space of peace and comfort and joy versus stress and not a good mental health headspace. What is so funny?
I just feel like I went right to a healthy is non-mothers or mothers with grown children and
Really?
and sick. I mean, I'm
Oh my
never
word.
I never have a full night of sleep right now. I mean, I haven't had a good night of sleep in 3.5 years. More because when I was pregnant, I didn't sleep
Yeah,
well.
no.
I mean, like, truly, my body is not in peak performance. I love it. It's fine. But I can't show up the same way that I will be able to in 10 years or that I could before having children. But also, I think I'm a lot more, I have a lot of growing to do still. But there's trade off. Like, I do feel like I am more peaceful. I have more wisdom than I did
Yeah.
before kids.
Okay,
So
that
I don't
was
mean sick in a bad way. I think I just went right to the physical and like physically
no,
not
so
going to be my best.
you meant sick in a good way. No, I hear you. What?
I think I'm just a little sick.
God, I don't want to handle that. Could you tell me more about that, Callie? Where
No, I can't. I actually can't. I think I'm going to take a What does Sadie say?
5 to 10 business
5
days.
to 10 business days to process that myself. You go.
I'm processing right now. I'm taking my 5 to 10. I don't know. I hope you revisit that you feel like you can't be healthy.
I don't
And
think I meant it in a negative way. Like, I just really think there's suffering that comes with motherhood, and it's actually good. I actually think that's what I meant. Like, I'm just not comfortable.
you are so focused on physical health. Like, you're very cautious about nutrition, whole foods, doing the right thing for your body. Your prenatals right now smell like the worst form of rancid death I've experienced in my whole
To
life.
the
Like,
point
you
where
would have to pay me to take those, and instead you are paying someone else to
a
send
lot of
them
money.
to you.
Like, they're the most expensive vitamins I've ever bought in my life.
So
And
anyways, you
can
are
we just
very
also, just to illustrate how bad they are, what our husbands were playing cribbage, and whoever lost had to chew one of my vitamins. And I heard some retching from the basement.
yeah. Yeah, we were in bed,
Anyways.
but yes. So my point is it's a high priority to take care of
Yeah.
yourself physically, and before you were pregnant, you were always running, you were always working out, you were very much trying to achieve peak physical condition.
Yeah.
So, that is just one piece of your whole makeup, the
Yeah.
physical piece.
Just one? It's not my whole
Just
identity?
no.
Hmm. Hmm. Yep. Yeah, so I suppose, like, I'm healthier in other ways.
Yeah.
For sure. And honestly, I do think I'm healthier physically too. Like, I'm working out in a much healthier way than I ever was before. Just balanced, much more balanced way. But I'm still going to be sleep deprived.
For the rest of your life until not for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I was going
Yeah.
to say what?
For the rest of the foreseeable near future,
Yeah.
you will be sleep deprived, which, let's just clarify, does not make you sick.
I don't know. I feel like until you experience the sleep deprivation of having children, you just don't understand how much it affects everything. And you learn
No.
to work through it. But I'm going to double down on that one. Like, it's so much harder than you ever think it's going to be
Here's
sleep deprived.
where I'm at. All of those studies coming out and like saying that you need to prioritize your health and your sleep and your
Oh, I can't even
baby's
read
sleep.
them.
I never read them
Yeah.
because I'm like, kindly fish off. Like I don't have time for this because whenever you're absorbing new information or new studies, you do need to figure out where that fits in the whole. And for me,
Yeah.
mothers have been sleep deprived for as long as we've been a species, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure. That's not going anywhere. We're not going to change that. We can optimize it. We can try and be better, but stressing myself out over the fact that I'm, filing off 5 to 10 years of my life every month is
Right?
not helpful. And what they don't account for in these studies is the richness that comes in other areas of your life.
Yeah.
So it's just one piece of a whole.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good reminder. Yep, sure is.
Freaking scientists.
Boy, you don't need them.
That's a joke.
It sure is. Oh, so always do our best.
Always do our best. I think that
It's
one
funny.
felt...
Why does that one seem so much easier than the other three?
Well, we don't always do it. I think it's like if you put the first three together, you kind of end with that one.
But okay, I feel like I actually am always trying to do my best, like literally in every aspect of my life. And I can't achieve that. But I do think I almost start with that one. And then I try to avoid the other ones sometimes, which is upside down. But I think
I
I
was going to
approach
say I
life
do
like
it
that.
opposite.
No, that makes a lot of sense.
Why? Does that make sense to you?
Well, because I try to steamroll and just like get to the product, like get to the end product, like meet the goal. And so if I know, like, the scientists, because I actually do listen, say that this is the best way to do this thing, this is the way I have to do it. And I just like go straight there. Like efficiency has just been how I live my life, especially in motherhood, which is not my strongest character trait, but it also does get a lot of shit done. So yeah, I always just like, not always, but frequently, I think I just try to skip the other steps. And I really do feel like I'm always trying to do my best in everything that I'm doing. Like I don't slough off, like ever.
I do know that about you.
But it's
so
not achieving. Like I can't say that it's it's not
I
an
can tell
easy
you,
way to live, but
no, so much pressure on yourself. And then
yeah.
also, if you're always striving to be your best, how are you defining that? Because there is no one size fits all for every situation
Oh, no.
at
Mm-mm.
all. So that's just an interesting pursuit to me. I can guarantee I do not try my best often.
That's so funny.
There will be
And
points in my day where I'm like, you know what? I'm at like 60% of my battery right now. This thing I care less about, I know I'm not going to show up well. And you know what? I really couldn't care less
yeah,
because I need to save whatever energy I have for pursuing this other thing with excellence. And it really doesn't bother me.
sounds like a good life, man.
Well, I mean, I have a lot of failings and I will, of course, make mistakes and think back on them and have a lot of regret, like anyone, but it's just fascinating to, like, your life sounds exhausting. If you're trying to do your best at everything,
Yeah. Oh, it is. And then I'm
I'm
always, like,
shook.
evaluating what I didn't do my best on and how I could do my best on it next time. Like, all the time. I mean,
I do that
dinner.
all the time for, yeah, okay. Well, I just like good flavors, so I always want it better.
And I just would love to know what's nature and what's nurture because it's so fascinating. We can have such a different approach to life and
Yeah.
really just be raised by the same parents.
Yeah.
And I can't, like, I'm not saying mine is right at all. Like, I think you and I work because we balance each other,
Mm-hmm.
but it's
So
just
many
really
ways.
interesting.
Yeah.
Even though we sound the same and look similar, very different.
Interesting.
Good chat.
Yeah. Well, I'm feeling really good about Thanksgiving. Feeling good about
I
doing
am
my
too.
best, trying my best.
I'm
Also,
gonna not take anything personally. Anything.
oh, so that's the I'm hearing that that's
I'm
the
gonna
one
do
for
my
you.
best. I'm not taking anything
So I'll
personally
be checking in with you periodically to see how that's going.
with a glass of champagne because I start to take
Totally.
things less personally then.
Maybe we'll
Actually.
send you and Kevin off on some walks.
Oh, yes.
We'll
Exercise.
keep your kiddos. And also, I should note, we are I have only the highest expectations for our family's behavior. This was a great conversation for me because now I feel like I have a game plan to optimize our limited time with these people who are part of our family that we just don't see that often. So
No, and we
I'm
live and we
excited
care
for it.
about.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't matter. I mean, everybody could walk in with the best intention. It's still going to be hard. Like,
Yes.
you haven't been building these relationships for a long time. And then you're supposed to, like, be in close proximity for an extended period of time. I mean, regardless of who that is, that's going to be hard. Yeah, I'm really excited to see everyone and I'm excited to celebrate grandma and just catch up and I'm excited to go in with a game plan to be my best. Oh my gosh.
Dead.
Okay, should we give some updates on the pod?
Oh yeah. What are your updates?
Well, I'm still not over my mug. It's really cute, but
Oh,
we're
it's
not selling
so
them, so
cute.
sorry, they're just ours
Yeah, exclusive.
as of now. Newsletter. Can you give
Oh
us a
yeah.
little update?
Yes, have weekly send outs. We would love for you to sign up. We are trying to build community here because that will just enhance the moms in our circle and the mom adjacent women. And we're really excited to have deeper conversations with the people in our community and bring those different perspectives to you. So you can really help us by signing up for our newsletter. And it's really short and sweet. We'll just tell you a little blurb about what we're talking about that week so you can tune into the episode. We'll let you know when a new episode drops. And then we'll include 3 things that we're loving that week.
Loving.
Yes. Yep. So we will link that newsletter, sign up in our socials. You can find it on our
Show notes.
website. Yep. Also our show notes.
Also, in that newsletter, I just feel like I need to tell the world about the Calm Christmas podcast because we're talking about the holidays. And it's this podcast by Beth Kempton, and it's just this beautiful little reflective, feel good moment, just prepping you for like what the holidays are all about. And it's just really beautiful. So that's in the newsletter is one of
That
our
was in last
things.
week's newsletter. So for those of
Oh,
you,
that's true. If you're signing up now, okay, maybe I'll just link the Calm Christmas podcast.
you're just the
Because
evangelist
it's
this
beautiful.
year.
I am. I just really feel like it. Yeah.
Makes everything
What
better.
else? Oh, our reviews are really, really important for just the algorithms of the web for ratings. So whatever platform you listen to, if you can give us a rating or a review, that's really, really helpful
It's so
for just getting
helpful.
the word out.
Yeah.
And we are just trying to connect with as many women as we can. If you have anything that you really think would be valuable to talk about, throw it our way because we love to talk about it.
We do. We're both verbal
We
processors.
love to talk about it.
Oh, well.
Go
See you at
team.
Grandma's.
See you at Grandma's. Oof. Maybe we should get walkie-talkies for the car.
Are you kidding me?
Charlie would be so into this.
Like, not cell phone. Oh, Kyle has walkie-talkies.
Oh, we're doing it.
Yeah.
Okay, this is fun. Yep.
Love it. Incredible.
We'll give a little update of how that goes.
Incredible. Okay. I love you.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
You've been listening to The Real Mom Hub. Our music is by Naomi O'Leary. You can find us on social at The Real Mom Hub. We're not the authority or even very educated on the medical issues discussed. Do your own research, talk to an expert, make your own decisions, and call us if you learn anything new.
If you like what you hear, follow us on Instagram, or better yet, subscribe to our newsletter. If you don't, that's fine. We can all move on. Our purpose here is community, so if we've resonated with you, tell a friend.
Thanks for listening.